This is gonna blow your mind. Game of Thrones wasn't just a show. It was a phenomenon that swept across the globe, captivating millions and turning Sunday nights into a worldwide event. It brought people together, whether they were longtime fantasy fans or newcomers drawn in by the intrigue, the drama, and the unforgettable characters. Thrones redefined what television could be, raising the bar for storytelling, production value, and sheer ambition. It blurred the lines between cinema and TV, making every episode feel like an epic film. From the first direwolf pup discovered in the snow, to the last dragon's roar echoing over a ruined city, Thrones delivered moments that shocked, devastated, and thrilled us. Each twist and turn kept us guessing, and every victory or loss felt personal. We trusted, we hoped, and we were betrayed, again and again. The show forced us to question our loyalties, to mourn our favorite characters, and to celebrate the rare moments of triumph. Yet, no matter how many times our hearts were broken, we couldn't look away. The suspense was addictive, and the urge to see what happened next kept us coming back. In this video, we count down the 10 most iconic scenes that changed the game forever. Moments that not only defined the series, but also left a lasting mark on pop culture and television history. These moments didn't just shock, they sparked conversations, ignited debates, and left scars on both the characters and the viewers. They became part of our collective memory. So, pour yourself a glass of Arbor Gold, settle in, and let's relive the scenes that shook not just the world of Westeros, but our own as well. The Battle of Winterfell was pure dread, an endless night where hope seemed to flicker and die with every passing moment. The air was thick with fear, the ground trembling beneath the weight of thousands of marching feet, both living and dead. Every torch cast long, quivering shadows, and every heartbeat echoed with the knowledge that this could be the end of everything. Hope faded as the dead closed in, their icy eyes unblinking, relentless. The defenders of Winterfell braced themselves, knowing that survival was a distant dream. The undead horde was unstoppable, a tidal wave of darkness threatening to swallow the last light of humanity. But from the shadows, Arya Stark emerged, transformed from a lost girl into the deadliest defender. Years of pain, training, and sacrifice had forged her into a weapon sharper than any blade. She moved like a whisper, unseen and unheard, her courage burning brighter than the fires outside. As the Night King advanced on Bran, Arya's leap was a streak of courage, a flash of Valyrian steel. In that single breathless moment, she defied fate itself, risking everything to strike at the heart of darkness. The world seemed to hold its breath as she soared through the air, every eye fixed on her. In one heart-stopping moment, she shattered fate itself. The Night King, the embodiment of death and winter, fell to her determination. The impossible had happened. Not through prophecy but through Arya's sheer will and skill. The ancient threat was undone, not by prophecy but by Arya's resolve. The White Walkers crumbled, their power broken by a single act of bravery. Arya stood amidst the ruins, victorious, her journey from innocence to legend complete. Her victory was electrifying, unexpected, earned, and legendary. The people of Winterfell, and all of Westeros, would never forget the night when a young woman changed the course of history. Cheers erupted, tears fell, and hope was reborn. Arya proved anyone, no matter how underestimated, could change history. She became a symbol of resilience, a reminder that even the smallest voice can echo through the ages. Her story inspired countless others to believe in their own strength. In that instant, she became the echo of not today in every heart, a beacon of hope in the darkest hour, and a legend that would live on long after the dawn. Oberyn Martell came to King's Landing burning for justice. His duel with the Mountain was vengeance in motion, spear flashing, demands for confession. For a moment, victory seemed his, but hubris cost him everything. The Mountain struck, and the world recoiled at the brutality. Justice was denied in the most visceral way. Thrones warned us, happy endings are rare, and no one is safe. This scene was Shakespearean tragedy, pride, vengeance, and horror entwined. As Tyrion's fate was sealed, we learned in Westeros even heroes can die. In the ashes of the Dothraki temple, Daenerys Targaryen stood unburnt, firelight in her hair, dragons at her side. Betrayed and outnumbered, she faced her captors with fire, not fear. The Dothraki knelt, the world took notice. This was the birth of a new age, magic and power reborn. Daenerys was no longer a pawn, but a conqueror with dragons. Every ember on her skin ignited hope and awe. The Mother of Dragons had arrived, and Westeros would never be the same. What began as a celebration, a night filled with laughter, music, and the promise of new alliances, quickly turned into something far more sinister. The hall was alive with the clinking of goblets and the warmth of candlelight, as families gathered to witness what should have been a joyful union. But outside, storm clouds gathered, and inside, an uneasy tension simmered beneath the surface. No one at the feast could have predicted the darkness about to descend. The air grew heavy, and the smiles began to fade as suspicion crept in. Robb Stark, ever the honorable king, believed in the strength of his word. Catelyn Stark, his mother, clung desperately to hope, searching for reassurance in every glance and gesture. Around them, loyal bannermen and family members tried to ignore the growing sense of dread. But when the heavy doors slammed shut, sealing everyone inside, the truth became impossible to ignore. The sense of safety vanished in an instant. As the haunting notes of "The Rains of Castamere" echoed through the hall, a chill swept over the guests. The musician's song was a warning, but by then, it was too late. Knives flashed in the candlelight, arrows soared through the air, and chaos erupted. In a matter of moments, the Starks were betrayed and slaughtered. The brutality was shocking, swift and absolute. No one was spared, not even the innocent. The feast became a massacre, and the legacy of House Stark was nearly wiped out in a single, merciless act. Fans around the world mourned as if they had lost their own kin. The grief was real, the outrage palpable, as viewers struggled to process the loss of beloved characters. The Red Wedding shattered the illusion of storybook justice. Game of Thrones broke every rule, showing that hope could be a dangerous thing, and that even the noblest hearts could fall to treachery. In the aftermath, trust was a luxury no one could afford. The world of Westeros was forever changed, and nothing would ever be certain again. In a courtroom of vipers, Tyrion Lannister stood alone, accused, belittled, betrayed, but he didn't beg for mercy. He unleashed years of humiliation in a speech of pure defiance. "I wish I was the monster you think I am," he spat, every word a weapon. For every outsider, Tyrion's fury was vindication. In that moment, he owned the room. The half-man stood tallest when it mattered most. Fans cheered, wept, and raged with him. Tyrion's trial became a rallying cry for anyone forced to prove their worth. The Battle of the Bastards was chaos incarnate, mud, blood, and panic. Jon Snow led a desperate fight for House Stark's survival. The camera plunged us into the horror, every blow, every gasp. Victory came not from strength, but from sheer will. Sansa Stark arrived with the Knights of the Vale, turning despair into deliverance. Jon's victory was hard-fought and costly. The hero rose, exhausted and stained by war. This was Thrones at its cinematic best, epic, emotional, unforgettable. Cersei Lannister's patience gave way to ruthless action on the day of her trial. As the city awaited justice, she watched from her tower, wine in hand, eyes cold. Wildfire erupted beneath the sept, devouring the holy and the hypocritical. The explosion shook the city. Cersei smiled. In one move, she erased her enemies and seized the throne. The cost was catastrophic. Her last child lost. Thrones reminded us, power is never given, only taken at a terrible price. Hope flickered in Castle Black. Jon Snow, betrayed and left for dead. Fans mourned, the world waited for a miracle. Melisandre whispered prayers, magic and desperation swirling. Silence stretched. Then, Jon gasped, eyes opened. His resurrection was more than a twist. It was myth made real. Jon's return united the North and inspired hope. Thrones gave us heartbreak, but here it gave us a leader worth following. In that moment, legend was born. The bells tolled surrender, but Daenerys' rage would not be silenced. Perched atop Drogon, she unleashed hellfire on King's Landing, innocents and enemies alike. The city burned, dreams died, and the world watched in horror. This was not liberation, but vengeance. Daenerys became the breaker of worlds, her vision twisted by loss. Fans were divided, was it madness or destiny? Thrones forced us to confront the true cost of power. Ned Stark stood on the steps of Baelor's Sept, the weight of honor heavy. He confessed, hoping to save his daughters. Joffrey called for his head, the axe fell, and the hero died. Thrones shattered expectations, killing its lead and changing the story forever. Ned's death was a warning. In Westeros, honor is no shield. Loyalty and love became targets. From that moment we knew, in the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground. Those were our top 10 iconic Game of Thrones scenes. Did your favorite make the list? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. These moments became part of our collective memory, echoing through television history. Thrones taught us to expect the unexpected and savor every fleeting victory. Until next time, remember, the night is dark and full of memories.